Some of the things that we do on this camera does not translate well to just audio.
Primarily critical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical. If movies at an after party, this would be it.
If you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
Because we've got spoilers, we've got trivia, and we've got opinions like crazy.
Good, bad, old, new, weird, or gross.
And we can't wait to share them. We pass judgment on them all.
Wow, we butchered that one.
Today, watching this movie is a good way to prepare yourself for winter. My name is Steve. I'm here with
John
and
Phil.
Today we're covering Arctic. This was Phil's pick. It stars
Mads.
Mads Mikkelsen, and it was
Mads.
directed by Joe Penna. Phil, are you happy with your pick? Let's start the conversation, Phil. Tell us what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
Okay.
Yes, I very much enjoy these human versus nature versus animal movies. And let me explain. Not against other humans. We're just talking about humans against the environment. And there's a handful of them. And a couple movies that come to mind, I was just wondering, Castaway. There was one with the Franco, 72 Hours or something, where he gets caught and he was going...
172 hours.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so those kind of movies, that's where we're talking about, right? And I like them. And then this one, wow, really to the very, very last scene. How, like, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it?
Are they going to make it? Yeah.
Literally to the last frame of the movie, almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very tense and hard to watch because you really felt for them, and you wanted them to succeed and make it. It's a survival movie.
Yes.
It is a survival
And I did,
movie.
yeah, I did really like this movie. Guys, what's your thoughts?
I thought it was a very interesting movie. I was impressed with my worry going into it when I read the synopsis is that I was worried that it was going to be very boring. But surprisingly, there's very little dialogue, as you'd expect in such a movie.
Absolutely.
Yet I didn't find myself sitting there going like yawning and going what I was very much engaged.
Engaged?
Yeah, throughout the entire film. So yeah, I think this is a great example of a movie. Once again, I mean the budget's got to be really low on this. I don't know if we got that written here, but
$2 million.
2 million. So I mean, relatively low budget and yeah, you made a great movie. I thought, yeah. I mean, I
totally agree. I mean, I think this is an example of a movie that the director makes or breaks it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, this could have been so boring, but we were completely engaged. I was completely engaged.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah, the director, you're right. How that you pull that off, the scenes, the way you do it is everything. And without dialogue.
And yes, huge part of this movie is because there's literally 3 people casted in this movie. If you look at the credits, but everything in this movie relies on the one guy, Mads, the actor, and what a role, what a performance. Yeah. By the end of the movie, he looked like near death.
Yeah, and he was death.
And he was
over.
he was like the Terminator. He was gonna get to survive. He was going to make it. He went through hell and back beyond anything I've really ever seen in any movie. He was literally lost everything to try to make it. And I talked about in previous movies. Redemption, something that makes you care about the character. Man, this guy, wow!
Well, it was interesting.
What a survival movie.
Yeah, and it was very fascinating to me because I often talk about characters and good characters make good movies, and I've always said that, right? And what I found so fascinating about this is that here's a situation where you have no background. No real story about this guy. You don't know about his family. You don't know anything about his life.
And not even that woman in the movie. Nothing.
Yeah, yet you are very drawn to him as a character. Just because of the adversity that he's facing. You know what I mean? And that draws you in.
He's smart. he's smart. He knew how to survive.
Yeah.
And then someone comes to try to rescue them, and it was interesting. Who were these people? They're Asian. I paused the movie.
They were flying a China flag, I think. Were they not?
On the helicopter when I freezed it and I looked, it had flags with Japan, South Korea, China.
Yeah,
on it.
they look more Korean. She looked more Korean to me than.
But what were they
Chinese,
doing?
but-
Were they out there? Did they try to respond to? Because our main guy was trying to send out
a
a
signal.
SOS signal, and they crash and wow, it's like we don't know anything other than that she has a picture with her.
Yeah.
She asks about the pilot. It's all she really ever utters in the whole movie, and what a fascinating movie. 2 characters and
little dialogue.
no dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just emotions and action against the environment.
It was a very challenging project for someone to take on, and I think a risky one. I think this was not something that, I mean, you $2 million, that's a risk. I mean,
It
must
brand
have,
new on a green director.
yeah,
so
and
to
it must
speak.
have been a tough shoot. It was shot in primarily, I think, in Iceland.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was very happy.
It was gutsy. It was a gutsy show, and it pulled it off. I mean,
It does. I think the trailer gave too much away.
Yeah, that's a
know,
problem.
I didn't watch the trailer.
I
so-
watched the trailer.
I agree.
And then, I watched the trailer, so I immediately know that there's a woman, and she's injured, and I know that there's a polar bear.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's a lot of the story.
Yeah.
there's not a lot more than that.
You're right, and I think that's a huge problem today with trailers to give away too much.
Yeah.
But I think there's pressure on them because there's so many movies out there trying to get your eyeballs and streaming services and this and that.
You got
and the
to
other.
pack a lot in that
You
trailer
gotta
to
give
draw
them,
them in. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. And to touch on the polar bear, I said the movie only had 3 actors. The polar bear has to get credit.
Yeah.
It's part of the movie.
Well, I think at the end of the day, though, the ultimate thing is that as long as the trailer doesn't give away whether or not they survive, that's really the crux of this movie.
But here's-
that's what keeps you engaged. Is you want to know, is he going to make it? Is he going to survive? Right? And so, if they don't give away that, I mean, that's have they really? Because that's really all that I felt was compelling me through this entire movie, which was a big thing.
Kate, that's the thing. This movie was not a Hollywood type movie. There was no big explosions, effects. It was very simple. It's cut and dry. Dropped into the situation, and we're gonna get through. We're gonna follow his journey. And what I'm saying, I guess, is basically like it's. How do I? He's basically. It's cut and dry to the nuts of the situation. Like, you're gonna survive or not, and I was not sure if he was gonna survive.
Yeah.
I was on the edge.
Well, here
that's what I'm trying to say.
This brings up a question.
I
that
did not know if he was gonna survive.
Here's the ultimate question. Did he survive?
Yeah, he did.
Are you sure about that?
Well, okay, now, come on,
That's not the ultimate question.
Well,
come on.
The ultimate question is, would you have abandoned the woman?
I said that right away to my wife. I said,
Oh.
hell yeah. As soon as he had to draw that many more days, and I thought, there is no way that they would survive that trip. Given you look at the current circumstance they're in, so way I look at that, when he had to go change from 3 days to 5 days,
Yeah.
I would say that, so you're basically choosing whether 1 lives or 2 die. That's how I look at that situation.
But he
So,
did give up on her. He did
He
leave.
didn't. He
Because
he
she
did
wasn't
at that
dead.
one moment. Yeah.
She wasn't dead.
Yeah.
He didn't wait till she died. He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, well, you're a goner."
Well, I think
And
what happened there
and then
was...
he forged. Okay, go ahead.
I think what happened there was after he broke his leg, he decided, oh, I'm dead. I am
anyways-
so
Yeah,
dead.
he was done, yeah.
He was so dead. I might as well spend whatever energy I have left
To return to her,
to try and get back with her, right?
or give her back the picture, because that's kind of what he did. He gives her the picture, and she is still alive.
Well, he left the picture with her.
No, did he? Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He didn't bring the picture back to her.
Because I thought maybe he was gonna hang on to the picture to go on and say, "Hey, this is the one."
That's not. I thought he left it with her. Yeah. But okay, wait. We'll go back to the thing. Okay, so what makes you say yes? He survived.
Yeah, because at the end, throughout the movie, they're holding, or he's testing her to see her strength, to see how strong she is still.
Right.
And it happens many times in the movie.
Yes.
Too, like, okay. And then at the end, the final moments, and they hold hands to see, but it's more than holding hands to see if you're still going. It's holding hands to say thank you for trying, and this is it. We're dead, basically, here. Because the helicopter didn't see me after I hold you up and I'm propping you up.
See, one could argue.
I'm doing everything.
Exactly. Everything you're saying, one could argue that he died. Is because one could say that he exerted everything he had. He burnt his coat and everything.
Yeah.
And then he saw that he failed, and that was it. He gave up. He was done. That was his last spurt of energy before death, was trying to get their attention, and that failed. And he just laid down and gave up and died.
No, I see what you're saying.
No.
I can totally get that, but I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
In my mind, she lived. They're
right.
both
I think it's.
They survive. You know what? And okay. And I gotta say, as much as I love this movie, I thought it was a little much that she was still alive after how long he fell in that crevasse. He broke his leg. He crawled back, and she's still alive. I thought that was a little much.
And let's face it, she's not drinking lots of water through this time. He's like, just like pretty much drips down her cheek.
Okay, I made my peace. She died, and they will go back. She's alive. That's why I think they're both alive, because they wouldn't be that cruel to snuff them both out. And plus, if you listen to the audio, the helicopter, you hear the sound of the helicopter coming back after they thought they were goners, and this is it. You hear it come back. And it lands right by them.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm
end of the movie.
They
survived.
I'm certain of is that the writers or the whatever they wanted to leave that ambiguity there, because you can't blame it on anything other than that they wanted, because they could have done something as simple as, well, he's laying there with his eyes closed and that helicopter comes back up. They could have showed him open his eyes, right? They could have done something as simple as that. Just to say to the audience, he is alive. Right. But they didn't do that.
No, I don't think
they didn't do that.
He wasn't at the point of death. She may be.
Okay, Phil, would you have left her? And at what point would you have?
Honestly,
yeah.
Here's the hard truth of the matter: and I would have stayed at that plane. He tried to stay there, and he kept cranking the thing, hoping they'd come and rescue, and they didn't. And he ran out of the antiseptic or the stuff, so he figured, well, I gotta try to save her. The only thing we can do. He kept looking at the map and thinking about it. He was a very smart guy. He really knew the risks, and he pretty much understood. The guy was a survivalist. We don't know anything about him previous to this, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is, like, I personally would have stayed there. She's a goner. Stay here, because you're trying to get there, you're going to both be goners. And you know what? They're going to come, cut your losses, and just stay put. Hope that people find you, and if they don't, well, I guess that's it. You know what I mean?
Interesting thought. Interesting.
What about you, Steve? What would you
stay put? Stay put.
I like that answer. Wait until she's at least dead before you abandon her. And the best way to do that would be at the plane.
Yes.
Man, at the rocky cliff, that 20, 30 foot rocky cliff where he's trying to pull her up and he can't get her to the top.
This is the difference of the 5 days or the 3 days.
Yeah,
right?
the difference of the 5 days and 3 days. I think deep down inside my inner selfish asshole
would have left her behind. Yeah, absolutely. I think so too.
And then maybe.
But I think
that was agonizing, wasn't it? Wasn't that truly agonizing?
I want to bring something up that I think might be being missed here with what you were saying is about staying at the plane. Is that he had his little thing that he had mapped out in an immediate area. only when that after the crash from that helicopter did he actually find out where he could go to actually get help. So this is new information. Along with the woman came new information to him, right? So I think in that situation is that staying put at the plane, if you didn't have that new information, of course stay put at the plane and wait till she dies, but you probably wouldn't, you'd probably stay at the plane as long as forever and hope that someone comes, because you have no idea what the fuck's out there, right? I mean, it's a certain death wish to start walking aimlessly out of nowhere.
We do know what's out there.
But he did get a map, and he knew that there was help somewhere, right? So
a seasonal station.
Right, a seasonal station. So suddenly you've got a mission.
Right, seasonal. You just said it. And we do know what's out there. It's a fucking polar bear.
Okay, well, yeah.
And
but
you
there's
just
polar bears
know.
around there.
You don't do a shot, any movie, anything. You're foreshadowing that polar bear shot from a distance. It's coming back. That's going to be part of the movie. And I love the next time they encountered the polar bear was a great scene. With the flare and the whole deal. But what I'm trying to say is, you know what? You don't know what's out there. You said it yourself. And you have a map. But with that odds, I'd say stay put and take your chances that someone's going to rescue you. Because not only they know you're down, you, the pilot, is down. Someone's out looking for you. On top of that, now that helicopter, whether or not they sent them or however they came to be there, I don't understand why they were flying around from, China or wherever. Anyways, maybe researchers or something. Maybe
researchers.
Anyways, then on top of that, they're going to search for them. So you got two different options of people trying to hopefully. So your odds increased there again. And he had a good system there. He had fish coming in. He was fishing.
When he mapped out a 3-day hike, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. A 3-day hike, when you're not carrying a woman with you on a sled.
But he had a good setup. He had a good setup.
He could store up food. He could save fish. You can freeze them.
And he did all that.
3 days, where you don't know. You could be out there for months.
But
you're only 3 days away. If you just wait, you could be there for months.
But
3 days away, you got a chance of actually going home.
I agree, but you have that random thing, the polar bear running around. What's to say this polar bear doesn't come and get you?
But you're still going to have to go out and get fish. You're still going to have to go out to go to the bathroom. You're still going to have that polar bear can get you anyways, even if you're. And polar bears are extremely strong. I know. They've been known to break into vehicles, and I don't know how strong that plane was. The fuselage
was aluminum. I think it could have survived a scrap or two. But I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I think if we were sitting at loneliness and being stuck in that situation, it's such a dire psychological thing that the idea that only 3 days from now, I could be being flown home to flush toilets and warm. I think anybody that would be enough versus the prospect.
But
of
a guy
there,
like him,
it could be months.
Like him, I believe he would have been able to do it. But lesser people, I don't know, not so much. Me personally, I don't think I could have done it.
There's some good
stay put.
There's some good scenes.
But let's move on.
We're just talking about ourselves. It's nothing to do with the movie.
Okay, so there's some good scenes where he finds Mr. Noodle, and he starts chomping down on it raw because he hasn't had any, any fiber in ages.
Wow. It was existing on water and fish.
There's a good scene where he finds the sleigh. He's been using a door, and then he...
Love that.
There's the whole section of the helicopter that falls off, and he looks and there's a perfectly good sleigh right there. Yeah. I laughed out loud, which was in a largely silent movie.
It was
laughing out loud. Was like wow.
Yeah. It was a good little moment there. Yeah,
it was totally
needed
cool.
that. Much needed moment of laughter.
Yeah. So they must have been rescuing. Because they had a reason to have a rescue thing on there. Like a sleigh
it might be standard equipment.
You think they were rescue crew?
Choppers they send up to, you never know. I mean, it seems
we don't know, and I guess did it, anyways, but I had a thought about that too. If they had a sleigh or a rescue device, why wouldn't there be more communication devices or more food on this helicopter?
Yeah.
If your intention is to go rescue people, wouldn't you have supplies? Especially in the Arctic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of odd.
Yeah,
They had a
well, I
propane
mean,
tank.
yeah.
They had what? Why would you have a propane tank? What?
I mean, if you want to get into the fakery of this, we can get into that.
It's There's
there's some things that I had serious problems with.
Irked you? Yeah, like you didn't add up.
Okay. One, we realize that this guy has no heat source, and he's been surviving with no heat source for a very long time.
How long? Because he was in a plane.
Well, he had the ticks on his little thing of how many days he'd been out there. I don't know. Did you?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'd been out there a while, and so there's no signs of any. He has no fuels to burn, no wood, no anything to burn, and they show him going to bed every night in the sleeping bag and stuff. I'm sorry, that's not doable.
You don't think
that is not doable. That is not. You're gonna die. You need a heat source. You can't. That sleeping bag, his clothes, all that stuff. He just will not be able to keep up the body temperature. He would have been missing all his fingers and stuff for the duration that he'd been out there. So
when they find the propane tank, which is a miracle, all the supplies on this thing, a propane tank. And that made sense. After that, they had a heat source in the plane because then now
we need a survival expert.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls.
You know what? If we really picked apart this movie, I'm sure we'd find flaws.
I mean, he might be a bit alive, but he would have missed fingers and
agree.
He was missing toes.
He was missing a toe.
He was missing toes.
That's right.
There are things that probably don't add up but I did. At the end of the movie, I watched the credits for a while.
Yeah.
They actually had a survival consultant.
Yeah.
So you would think the survival consultant, I'm sure got paid, would say, "Wait a minute, man, hold on here."
Maybe they didn't pay him enough.
But at the same time, you make it too real, you lose the story. I mean, it doesn't. It would suck if the guy just dies, right? I mean, in reality, you can't get to make a story of a guy that's going to die in that circumstance, right?
Wow, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Make it real enough to fool everybody, but and then once again, the typical us Canadians, we all know this, which is that you see breath coming out of people's mouths in the wintertime when it's cold. There's a lack of this going on there.
Oh, there's a lack of it, but there is in scenes. I've seen it.
Yes, but not enough scenes and not nearly.
Not enough fog.
Not enough fog.
Not enough fog.
Not.
You weren't happy with
You
the
had
fog.
maybe minus. You had maybe minus 3 fog going on. Not minus 30
in defense
fog.
of their logic about survival.
Yeah.
Do we know what time of season it was? Maybe it was the summer season in this Arctic region.
Well, maybe.
Maybe it's still hot enough to pull it off. Maybe it was hot enough.
I mean, hey, I'm just picking things apart. I love the movie, and I'm just trying to. I thought it was great.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But I love it's such a radical change. I can't say this enough from other movies, bombastic movies with huge casts, multiple storylines running around, effects and craziness. Simple movie. Down the line.
Very simple.
This is what you got. And I had to say, I had this.
You said there was a cast of 3, though.
If
you include the 2 rescue people at the end of the movie, that's
5.
We assume.
Did they get credited? I don't think they did. No,
they didn't get no credit.
Yeah,
poor schmucks.
Jeez. They're like, I was in a movie. I was
in this movie. You can't recognize me, but I was there.
Oh, Steve, I had to add this. You always have your tagline. I said I have a tagline, alternate tagline.
Uh-huh.
The whitest movie ever made.
Oh,
snap.
Boo.
Boo.
But have you ever seen a movie that had entirely just snow? Like I know there's a few.
There was that one that you picked.
Right?
Never Cry Wolf?
Never.
Was that it?
Well, that possibly.
Maybe.
But this was wall-to-wall snow. There's no trees. Just
Yeah, this is a very
wall to wall.
Very icy.
It's such a simplistic movie.
Very pale.
There's not much going on. Like lack of dialogue, but it's so refreshing to see a different spin on a movie. And I on that alone, I can almost.
Did you guys notice that he switched between English
and Danish?
Danish?
Because I'm only assuming that he's Danish because he's a Danish actor. He's from, that's what I read, and it's in
or Icelandic.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, anyways, yeah.
But it was weird because when he talked to her, he spoke English.
But
when he talked to himself, he was speaking
because they did subtitles, and she does speak English because she says pilot, or she knows enough to say pilot.
Right.
So
English is kind of the language of commerce, I think, right now.
Right.
It won't be for long, but it is now.
Right now,
yeah.
True, but they try to come to a common ground, but it's literally that only the line she speaks is pilot or
Yeah.
yeah. And what an acting job you have to be. All she did in the movie was just act like sick.
Yeah. Which she had an easy go of
get
it.
dragged
I mean,
around.
I actually think he had a
She
pretty
did-
easy go of it too. I don't think this is a really demanding acting job. Like I think he did great,
Really?
but I don't. Why you thought it was a demanding job?
Yeah, he had to act like he was exhausted to the point of death.
That was the
Crawl
makeup.
around, pull a human around.
That's easy in my
I
mind. That's
don't
easy
know.
compared
Oh,
to
yeah.
things where you have to when your dialogue and inflection and conversation is the nuances that go on in conversation is much more difficult to get that right attitude,
I think
look,
he did
and stuff
enough
like
to
that.
emote
But-
that there's longing stares.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I mean,
he
there's
did
no criticism. I think he did perfect.
I
I'm
think
just
he
saying
did
I'm
an
not sure it was
amazing
that
job,
demanding.
Mads.
Yeah.
Mads.
Let's look at this trivia.
This is good.
Now Mads.
Mads.
Character we know is Overguard because his jacket is labeled, but we don't actually hear his name spoken. And so his last name is Overguard.
Yes.
And Overguard's ID photo shows a younger Mads Mikkelsen. It's the same photo used in the TV show Hannibal to show a younger Hannibal Lecter.
Wow.
So yeah, he gained some fame in the show Hannibal.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Phil earlier. We talked about his role in 007.
Yeah. People probably know him from that movie, I would think. In Casino Royale.
Yeah, and since then he's been in freaking everything.
He's been in one of the stars.
He's got mad skills.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
He's great.
Ooh,
He's,
good one, man. Good one.
Yeah.
he was in a Netflix movie, Polar,
Yes,
right?
I really enjoyed that.
Which it seemed like it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I think he always gets cast as.
I think he started out in
villain.
porn, didn't he? No, that's someone else. Never mind.
I don't think he was
maybe,
in porn.
No.
Maybe
It's
maybe,
possible.
maybe.
Right.
But I
it
like
wasn't his face.
anybody with the name Mads is pretty cool. Mads.
Yeah, I've never heard that. That's
Well, to English speaking people, Mads is just Mads.
it's like mothers against drunk stupidity.
Yeah, or you're just crazy Mads. You're Mads.
You're Mads, man.
I love it. I love it.
Let's look at this
All right.
next trivia point.
Sure.
The director started on YouTube in 2006 making videos as the channel Mystery Guitar Man. Wow, I gotta check this out. I'm gonna underline that. This is his first feature film.
Wow. Well, home run for the director. No,
Hey, buddy.
No doubt.
He
Yeah.
did really well. And
Yeah.
there's a
Joe-
lot of people butting out of YouTube.
Yeah.
But Joe, awesome.
Yeah.
I have to look up what he's done recently because this movie came out in 2018. This guy, look
Well,
up.
that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Look out for this guy, Joe
Yeah.
Pedna. Is that correct?
Yeah, because the choice of scenes and really was key. And,
the tension,
way the scenes were shot, and stuff.
agonizing
Yeah, so,
tension, and the pacing of it. It's not an easy watch.
oh, and
for people.
he had the writing going on here too. So
Yeah.
really, I mean, yeah, he
Great,
integral part of this.
and great pick for your cast. Hey, good job. But how hard was it to be that actress? You just had to lie there like you're near death and get dragged around for a whole movie.
I don't know, and I
How
also
hard was
don't know the situation they're filming in either. So
Yeah.
we really have no concept of how much was acting and how much was actually being really uncomfortable.
yeah. Well, this next line of trivia is I find very fascinating. The bear in the film is real.
Oh,
Shooting the beast was cheaper
Beast.
than drawing. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean a bear just happened across their shooting scene, or does that mean that they
They have a bear wrangler, probably,
bear wrangler? Yeah, they
Yeah.
used a real trained
why do they
bear.
call it
Yeah,
Beast?
yeah.
Why do they
Sure.
call it Beast?
because it's a freaking monster. Well, it looks like a monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In that movie,
yeah. Of course, it's a trained bear. They wouldn't get
he or she, the polar bear, was an actor.
Yeah, so no credits.
Right, it was
As
emoting.
usual, animals don't get credit.
That's terrible.
That's six
sucks,
actors.
you know.
Six actors. For those of you at home, that's
Yeah.
six actors.
We here primarily critical count the animals.
We
I don't.
do.
I don't like the term beast. Actor. Polar bear.
The film was originally called On Mars. The plot was the same, only the hero did not freeze. He could just not breathe. However, director Joe Pena later found out that the movie The Martian with Matt Damon would be released soon. That is when it was decided to abandon the Mars idea.
Wow.
So this is supposed to be a survival movie on Mars.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a sci-fi movie.
Wow. Fucking Matt Damon. Jesus.
What did he do?
Had to go star in a
Matt
movie
Damon.
in this crazy big budget movie that made a bunch of money. He just like muscled his way into the turf.
Yeah.
God damn.
David.
It's like when LMFAO came out with their song, not I'm too sexy. I'm sexy and I know it.
Right.
I was just about to make a song about that exact same thing, and he took it away. So I never became famous.
He ruined your career.
That's right. He ruined my. I'm gonna kill Red Foo someday.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
I love
that's
you, Red
great
Foo.
trivia. I love that trivia. Some good trivia, Steve. You came up with some good trivia.
I did. I scoured
Scoured
IMDb.
the internet.
The budget was $2 million. It made 4.1, so it's
Double their
successful.
money.
Oh, sequel.
Right?
Sequel.
No.
No.
How
How
could you
sequel this?
How could you?
What kind of? How can he be so
Breaks his
dumb to
other
get himself
leg.
in that situation a second time?
He actually
The helicopter crashes.
Hey, Steve.
The rescue helicopter crash. Yeah.
They see the circumstance. They rescue him, and they say, "Mads, what his overguard?" They say, "Man, you're a survivalist. We need to put you on Mars."
So
Sequel.
sequels on Mars.
Sequels on Mars.
Because that guy could survive anywhere.
So
I'm
what?
truly convinced.
So he's part of an airplane crew, but that makes him qualified to be an astronaut.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. all
He's
right.
in. He's in the Mars journey.
Yeah.
He's the captain.
Boo. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't buy
I'm
it.
not buying it. I'm not going.
You're
I'm not
gonna
going to see
go.
Mars.
I don't want...
Arctic Part 2. Mars. It's coming to a theater near you.
Well, it'll be you said this is the whitest movie ever. That would be the reddest movie ever.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did it wear a toque?
All right.
Because it's...
Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, Monday at noon, we're covering. I'm hoping to cover Allegiant. That's the plan. Now, this release list is open to change, especially that far in advance. But it's part 2 of we did Divergent a couple weeks back. We're gonna do Allegiant, and then hopefully the last movie, and we're just gonna soak in the whole trilogy thing. And I'm
It's gonna
sorry,
be grand.
I roped you guys into a trilogy, and I hope you don't mind.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll make do. I'll make do.
So keep Divergent in mind, gentlemen, and try to remember the nuance of the film.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it going.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you so much for
Right
joining us.
on.
Peace. I'm Steve. This is
John.
Man.
Hey, I'm Phil.
Bye bye.
Primarily